Oh, I think I'm back. I think I'm back. She saw the fruit. She took my Ethernet cord and ran. Dang. Oh, cool. I am back then. That's good. Yeah, I was just like, oh man, I hope we get to keep this flower. And then I heard the sound. And I knew that Charlotte was the Phantom Weasel the whole time. Reset the no flip counter. I don't think that's ever gonna get past 3. But hey, who knows? How did you do the flower trick?
I'm afraid that's my little secret.
Computer tricks.
Well, magicians are entitled to their secrets. But Paimon's really itching to know how it's done. You feel it too, right? So itchy.
So yeah, the Phantom. Wow, we're just not even acknowledging Paimon. So the Phantom Weasel, you're sure you're able to handle him?
Not so itchy then, huh? Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants and help me investigate?
Where is Lynette, speaking of her?
Magician's assistants? Oh, that sounds fun. Assistants are technically magicians too.
Yeah, I heard that there was a bit of a disconnect between the Traveler's attitude towards Lyney. It's one of the reasons why I kind of held off on it for a little bit. So, I think, I don't know, would it make more sense like after like Fortress of Meripede? Like in terms of time frame for like attitude towards him? I don't know. There's like kind of unspecified time gaps between the Archon quest and these character quests. I wish they were a little bit more defined.
Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done. Shall we go for it?
All right, what's your plan?
The first thing we need to look into is who Caesar really was. If he truly was the Phantom Weasel, that means
maybe.
that the weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal.
I think some of them are locked behind the Archon quest though, but like, I don't know. It might be more nebulous just in case you don't do them immediately.
But if he wasn't the weasel? Well, that'll make things more interesting. It would mean that the weasel lives and he's been laying low all this time in some corner of Fontaine. And if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there.
Oh, we're gonna interrogate his fiancée, who's just visiting his grave? That feels a little low.
We should make a move. Let's go and rendezvous with Lynette.
Oh yeah, until the start of Act 5. That's when we get officially, like, released, huh? I like to think that we come and go from the Fortress of Meripede and no one really bats an eye. We're just not technically officially released, but they just kind of look away. Where am I going? Oh, I'm going here. No, I'm not. I forgot about underground. All right, this way. I can't believe that only like 7 people have ever died in Fontaine ever. 9? 10? Oh. Meowdy!
You took your time.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended up chatting for a while.
Lives in Silver's grave. Oh, are they like physically there now? Just not just in the Archon quest?
It's been a while, Lynette.
Phew.
We're working as Lyney's temporary assistants in the investigation of the Phantom Weasel.
Thank you. It's good to have you helping.
So, what's the situation? Have you seen Gemma?
Nope. I've been here a while, and she still hasn't shown up.
How bizarre. Maybe it was bad intel.
I mean, Lynette probably feels a little annoyed. Like, if you have to hang out at a graveyard and just kind of act sort of sus because you aren't leaving the graveyard as people are grieving around you, I feel like it's a little awkward. I'm not sure I would really enjoy that particular stakeout.
Well, We won't get anywhere by standing around waiting. Traveler, Paimon, let's go ask around.
Oh, good. We're gonna disturb other grieving people. Hi, Lynette.
I'll wait for you here and see if Gemma shows up.
Gracia. Balthasar. I'm sorry? Balthasar and Balthasar. Oh, this guy gets 2 graves. What? This one doesn't belong to anybody. And that one doesn't either. Okay. Ah. Oh, that's just the NPCs. Oh, well. Okay.
A lot of people here today, huh? When did this cemetery get so popular?
So how can you tell which one's my Lucent Silvers?
Same thoughts here. What's going on?
Honestly fair.
Excuse me,
It's
good
the one with the
sir.
flowers,
Do you
okay.
by any chance know a Gemma?
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiance? Sure I do. What's this about?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her
Oh.
help with something. I heard she comes here a lot.
Yeah, she does. Poor thing. It's no secret why either. She's heartsick. Ever since Caesar passed away, she's been coming here once every week to clean his grave. Often she just sits there in front of his headstone, lost in thought. Sometimes she talks to herself.
Is anyone gonna tell Ryan? Well, in a manner of speaking. In a manner of speaking.
I asked her what she was doing once. She said she wanted to speak to him again.
Ooh, necromancy.
She knows he's gone and can't hear her from the grave, but she just likes to spend time there, telling her
Oh.
fiance all about how her life is going.
And she's been doing this ever since Caesar passed away? Oh, so 10 years. Wow. Their love must have been really strong.
I'll bet. Caesar's reputation fell apart after his identity was revealed, so no one else visits his grave. Gemma's the only one who still thinks about him after all these years.
So here's my little, crack theory, I guess, based on the little information I have so far. I kind of want to bet that Caesar was gonna, because he died on stage and he just had everything on him, right? So my best bet right now is that he was gonna do a magician thing and reveal all of the stuff that he took as part of his act. But he died, so he was never able to do it. At least that's my guess. Oh no, we're not gonna have Caesar salad. Fanta's already people. We don't need food to be that too.
I don't know if the mind lives on in the waters after death, but if it does, I'm sure Caesar must be grateful to have someone who remembers him fondly. If I'm honest, I think this is all so unfair to poor Gemma. Her fiancé was a low-life crook. He doesn't deserve someone like her.
Man, if I'm right, then this is gonna put all of these insults into perspective.
Anyway, all of that said, she's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be sitting in front of his grave by now. I wonder if she's okay. Well, that's everything I know, I'm afraid. You might have more luck asking some other people.
All right, well, thanks for sharing all of this with us. We'll keep asking around.
You're welcome. I just hope she'll be able to move on one day.
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom Weasel's back.
When did Fanta become people? Have you done the new Archon quests? Not even the new one, in the previous Archon quests? In general, I don't want to necessarily spoil things if you're, if you haven't done it.
You're kidding. Wait, isn't he dead?
I don't know anymore. All sorts of news flying around nowadays. I can never tell what's true and what isn't.
Charlotte's working on it.
But what if, just hypothetically, I mean, what if this weasel's the real deal and Caesar was framed?
Also fair. Oh, it's that time that they nearly got Navia with the synth added to the drink. It was in Fanta. So I just kind of joked that Fanta was people from then on.
Called it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself, you know what? This guy's been set up. The Caesar I knew was a good guy. He gave balloons to children on the street, for Pete's sake. What, are we supposed to believe that he was a balloon thief or something? Give me a break.
Oh, please. Weren't you the one cursing his name to high heaven when the police announced the news? You were all, that gosh darn lousy son of a, you think you know a guy, or words to that effect.
Oh shoot, thank you for the raid. Can I beat the mods to this? Probably not. Ha! Wait, my fingers are frozen. Oh no! I forgot the SO! Dang it! No! My fingers are frozen! Ha! I got it! Ha ha! I win! But yeah, thanks for raiding. I hope you had fun. I just keep forgetting commands. That's a very consistent thing.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
I'm not sorry to interrupt, but hello.
Hello there.
Oh.
Sorry for disturbing you, but I couldn't help but notice you were discussing the Phantom Weasel. We're actually quite interested in this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment to tell us a little bit about Caesar?
Congrats on the Hanya. I don't think I have enough, pulls. Oof.
You've come
The
to the
typing
right
mini
people.
game, no!
Yep. I was there. Back when Caesar used to perform magic tricks on the street. He was a great magician. The best trick I ever saw him do was pop a transparent balloon, only for a whole bunch of doves to fly out from the inside. I was right up close and didn't blink or look away once. But for the life of me, I still don't have the faintest clue how he pulled it off. Really incredible stuff.
I saw him perform too. He always used to bring some gifts along for the kids who came to watch his show, and he'd hand them out after he was done. Sometimes he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list appear in his next show.
Huh. He doesn't sound like such a bad guy.
A typing competition. Well, I have won one.
But after he died, there were also rumors that he used the wish list to find out what was precious to people, with the intent to steal it later. As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from anyone.
Whatever the case, now that the Weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more. I bet Gemma must be pleased. If Caesar's name gets cleared, maybe it'll finally give her some solace after all this time.
Second crack theory. Gemma is, pretending to be the Phantom Weasel to clear his name.
Oh, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more questions about Caesar, she's definitely the one to ask.
So that's Gemma. Is it just Paimon, or does it look like something's wrong?
Yeah, it's almost like people are slandering her dead husband's name.
Wait,
More than usual.
It looks like
Oh,
she's
she's actually injured.
come on, let's see if she's okay.
Also, oh god, I have to do Christmas shopping too. Oh my gosh. Oh, buying things is hard. Like, gifts are hard, because I want them to be thoughtful.
Hi there. You're Gemma, right?
I wonder how many times she's been stopped by people.
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid, we mean no harm.
Well, we mean no harm. We might unintentionally cause harm.
It looks like you're injured. How bad is it?
Thanks for your concern, but you didn't answer my question. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
Oh, oof.
My name is Lyney.
Not the glitter.
This is my sister Lynette.
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
And we're gonna immediately put her on her guard.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Caesar was falsely accused. You knew Caesar better than anyone else. So if you're willing, we'd love to hear what you think about all this. I promise you can trust us. We won't hurt you. In fact, we'll do all we can to keep you safe.
I never believed that he was the weasel.
Huh. I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Caesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
Third crack theory. I'm throwing out multiple things. Third crack theory, I'm combining my first two theories of, so Gemma is actually the Phantom Weasel, and she did steal things, and her husband found out and was going to return them to everyone at his performance, and then died before he could do that. And everyone thought it was him instead. That's my third theory.
No, not that I know of.
And now she feels really guilty that his name has been slandered and everything, so she brought back the Phantom Weasel.
Got it. All right. Sorry for disturbing you.
I'll probably have more theories down the line.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be alone with him.
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something fishy about her.
I was about to just say, I don't think we're far enough that she wouldn't be able to hear us unless we were really lowering our voices. And, she overheard that one.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
Well, yeah, of course she doesn't trust us.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started
Mood.
questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago. It makes sense that she'd be wary around us.
I was gonna say that.
In any case, I doubt we'll get any further here, so let's call it a day. Meet me outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the next step of our plan.
I thought that she had gray hair because she was old. Oh, she's gone. That's the real trick. She vanished right before our eyes. Oh, we have to wait until... Okay. Time. I need to wait for... Oh. Yeah, no, that's... Oh, I have to wait tomorrow. Oof. Well, time to just stand in a graveyard for a whole day. She was the ghost! I mean, we've seen ghosts. We know that those are real. Alright, where am I going? Ah. Oh, special program on Friday. Oh, dang. Guess I'm gonna have a watch party. Well,
Over
party's
here.
a strong word. Ruby, Ruby, Roo?
I've had her follow Gemma and see if we can make any inroads
Oh,
with her.
we're stalking
I
her.
should be at a cafe right now. Still, I don't think that Gemma's likely to open up to us.
Especially if we stalk her.
So, we need a contingency plan.
Alright, what are we doing?
Today, we'll be looking into a guy named Lorenzo, Caesar's former pupil and assistant.
See, that's why I was just like, wait, no, I shouldn't say watch party because it's not like I'm getting a group or anything. I'm just gonna be watching it. And yeah, no, I'm not watching it at 7 in the morning.
When Caesar passed away, all the stolen goods discovered in his home were confiscated and returned to their rightful owners. But Lorenzo was the only one privy to all his magic secrets, and he inherited his craft. Before long, Lorenzo was the next big magician in town, his fame surpassing even that of his master, and it made him very wealthy. He's since left the magic scene, though, and these days, he's a wealthy businessman with his fingers in a lot of different pies.
Okay, he's painted as very suspicious, but I feel like he's a red herring.
I had to pull a lot of strings, but I managed to get him to agree to a couple of drinks with me. Be warned, though, I hear he's got a hair-triggered temper. We'd best be careful.
Don't bring Paimon. Got it. I don't think this is actually like Caesar as in Julius Caesar. I really don't think so.
You neglected to mention that you were bringing 2 other people with you.
Yeah, but you didn't say you wasn't gonna do that.
My apologies. These two are my assistants. When they heard that I was meeting with the former Magic Maestro himself, they begged and pleaded with me to bring them along. And if it's no trouble, a couple of autographs would really make their day.
Aha, flattery. It will get you everywhere.
Oh, forget the pleasantries. Just sit.
I'm about to throw something at him. I'm like readying my throwing arm.
Get a load of this guy. Forget the pleasantries, he says.
Paimon,
but
shush!
He looks pretty happy
Paimon,
about Lyney
shut up!
stroking his ego.
You're not subtle! Shut up!
I only agreed to meet since we're both magicians. Do me a favor and cut to the chase. I have more important things to do than drinking.
Much obliged, sir. As it happens, the matter I want to address is also related to magic. Yesterday morning, a warning letter from the Phantom Weasel appeared on the entrance to the Opera House. He claims to be planning something for the same evening that I'm scheduled to do a magic show there. As such, I believe that I may well be his target. I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions about Caesar, who...
Uh-oh. I feel like that name is immediately gonna just trigger him.
What is there to investigate?
Ooh. Ooh. Not temper, but that is rather suspicious.
Caesar was the Weasel, and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick creep thought it'd be funny to write a warning letter? It changes nothing. Are you trying to tell me you actually bought it?
Consider every possibility, you know?
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up. I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
Also, if it was a copycat, they may very well have been someone who was privy to Caesar's habits and, like, you know, personality, someone who knew him. Not necessarily you, but, you know, it would help if we knew more about Caesar, right? Right.
Possibility? It's a fact.
Dang it.
Lyney. Look, my patience is limited, so listen carefully while I'm still willing to put up with you. The Weasel is dead. Period.
Well, now we know he's not.
Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this investigation. It'll lead you nowhere. Look, if this affects your magic show in any way, I will personally compensate you for any losses.
Oh, sir, I'm honored, really. But this isn't about finances for me. My pride as a magician is what's at stake here, Lorenzo. Copycat or not, this person has thrown me the gauntlet, and I must meet their challenge head on.
If you don't see the body, they're totally alive. I don't know. I feel like the Fontaine cases have all been about dissolving the body so there's nothing left. But in this case, it is weird how... the way they're reacting anyway.
Your pride? Don't mince words with me, boy. Just tell me, what exactly are you seeking to do?
Or maybe the Weasel was in fact a group of people, fourth theory. A group of people who were working under the same banner of the Weasel.
I want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity. I have to know for myself what really happened 10 years ago.
What would that accomplish? And what do the events of 10 years ago have to do with you anyway? Look, you of all people should know that a magician never reveals their secrets. And in any case, dead men don't talk. So if you really care
Was that a
about your
threat?
magician's pride, then you'll forget about Caesar and move on.
Was that a threat? Oh, try me.
Uh-oh.
I'll fight you.
This is getting awkward.
You won't win.
Lorenzo? Is that? Oh, it is you! I know that big, booming voice anywhere. What's up, my man? Want to grab a drink with me?
Man's drunk at 8 in the morning.
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on. You can't be all business all the time. You know what they say? Live fast, die young.
Die.
You gotta
That's
learn
it.
to
Live fast,
relax
die.
and relax once in a while.
That's the full expression.
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk somewhere else.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey! Edmondo. He and I are business pals. We worked together a bunch of times. This is your first time meeting
I can
him?
smell
Oh,
the
he's
alcohol
always
in his
like this.
breath. Oh my
Foul
god.
mouth and hard nose. Never heard a kind word out of this guy the whole time I've known him.
Meowdy.
And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend. Despite being, what, pushing 40, 30, something? Anyway, point is, a lot older than when he first got rejected by the girl he was into. And he's still into, from what I hear.
Oh my gosh, the delivery is so good.
Shut up and get out of my face. Another word out of you and you can forget about doing business with me ever again. Do I make myself clear?
I don't think so. He's drunk. I don't think anyone could make themselves clear to this man right now.
Sorry,
maybe.
I may have had a little too much to drink. All right, I'm gonna leave. Don't work too hard.
I think he just scared the sobriety into him.
I think it's high time I made a move as well. If you really want to investigate this, Lyney, be my guest.
We're gonna go after Edmondo, aren't we?
But if nothing good comes of it, don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh no, it wasn't a little too past a little. It was past a little. A lot more eyes in that.
Well, that fell to pieces in a rather spectacular fashion. Any thoughts?
Well, he's suspicious.
Totally. And what was all that about compensating you for your losses? Why would someone you just met make an offer like that?
That's also true, especially for a businessman who's, like, notoriously not nice to people. Ooh, sus.
He's gotta be hiding something. And not like Gemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering something up.
I'm sort of wondering if they're working as a group.
I think so too. We need to look into Lorenzo more closely. That guy Edmondo seems to know a thing or two about him. He only just left. Let's see if we can catch up with him.
Won't be hard, he's probably stumbling around. Probably walked into a corner. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's about to vomit.
You okay there?
No. He's about to vomit into the bushes at like noon.
Who are you? Oh, it's you guys. Don't worry about me. I must have had one too many. I just need to ride it out.
I kind of want to just offer him like, they don't have bottles of water here, like a thermos of water or something? A glass of water? I don't know.
I say way too much back there, didn't I? Yeah, I nearly talked myself into complete financial ruin. Note to self, no more drunken chats when Lorenzo's around.
So he was serious about threatening to cut you off? Ugh, Paimon knew he was a bad egg.
Hey, keep your voice down.
He's got ears everywhere. That's true. Never could give him water. I think that might be a little too much water, I won't lie.
Don't
A
pry into
little.
Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions. Or make an enemy out of him.
Don't worry, it's not gonna be primordial seawater. Seawater is not hydrating. We need to get the regular old stream water. Spring water. Anything that isn't salt water.
What kind of bad things?
Or maybe like bread or something.
Don't even
Might be too late for
ask.
food.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this conversation short. I'm not crossing that line again. And take it from me, trouble with Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. You saw him flare up back there. I don't know what you said to him, but clearly it touched a nerve.
Well, he just said Caesar's name.
That's not a good sign. You're too young for this. Don't get in over your head. I'm leaving.
I feel like the "Don't Get In Over Your Head" could also be remixed into a funny song. It was very rhythmic.
And there he goes. What do we do now, Lyney?
Shh. I think we're to our whole
Oh my
conversation.
god! There's no way he can hear us from that far back! No way! Unless what we said at the graveyard was like overheard by, by the Gemma. Cause she was even closer than this guy is. Also, you're not blending in, sir. Got sunglasses on at night.
Don't say anything and don't look back. Any altercation in the city will attract the guards. We'd better take this elsewhere.
Oh, he's gone. Yeah, no, that's really far away. There's no way they would have been able to hear this conversation at all. Maybe they weren't actually listening. Maybe they were just trying to follow us. I bet that's believable. Can't believe Lorenzo put a hit on us. Well, time to hit back.
You followed us a long way. Why don't you come out and introduce yourselves?
So you're Lyney. And where's
Smooth
your sister? Ain't
face.
she with you today?
Smooth face Pacino.
Save us the trouble and go fetch her for us. Let's not drag this out.
Dormant Catboy James. That's just remind me of the newest variant dungeon in 14 when people are like talking like pretty openly like on the other side of this beach, and I'm just like sitting there like I'd be able to hear this. I'm playing a Catboy. I can hear you. And then they're like later on the cat girl in that group is just like, we heard you because I have cat ears, and I'm like, yeah, me too. You're not special. How do those glasses stay on? Tape.
Paimon doesn't like the tone of your voice, mister.
Why are you
Who
hiding?
sent you, huh?
Lorenzo, duh. Painter?
You ain't gonna need answers where you're going. Capiche?
You don't even have guns. Or weapons at all. What are you gonna do? Tackle us into the water? You'll drown. I can't drown.
Looks like we can't avoid this fight. Now, I'm not the strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready to back me up.
That's a lie.
Don't worry, we got this.
Isn't Lyney like really good?
And voila!
Let's see. Is there anything I... They're just gone. They're gone. No, there's... Bye.
Curses. They're tougher than we thought.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Vision wielders are always trouble. Intimidation ain't gonna work like it did on the lady.
Oh, okay, so Gemma's innocent. Let me toss out a couple of the theories that I came up with.
Let's scram.
Hey, wise guys, we ain't through with you yet.
We should go and talk to Gemma again.
Oh, they got away. Did you catch what they said just before they left? Something about intimidating someone else. Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic, and they've already done it to someone else, but who? You're right. She was injured when we saw her yesterday, and she acted like she had something to hide. Maybe she was too scared to tell us the truth because those guys had threatened her.
Well, if that's the case, she should be more willing to open up to us once she learns that those thugs won't be bothering her anymore. Let's head back to the cafe and see if we can get any information from her.
Oh yeah, I was about to be like, how do we know where she is? And she's like, oh yeah, no, Lynette's tailing her right now. This one's closer? Let's see. Close enough. Oh, it's not stalking, they're just having coffee, probably. I'm on the roof. Seeker of the Sun, just because I feel like Keepers of the Moon have, like, issues with seeing in, too bright spaces.
Gemma?
Hiya!
You again. What is it this time?
So we've been attacked. We won.
We just ran into the men who've been threatening you, and we gave them a taste of their own medicine. So, you can relax now. We're here to protect you.
What? Why? I didn't tell you anything. Why would they come after you?
Sounds like they're no strangers to you.
That's putting it mildly. I know them all too well, and I hate them with every fiber of my being. It's been 10 long years, and still every time I try to look into Caesar's death, they show up and warn me not to do anything stupid. How do I know I can trust you? Do you really think you can get to the bottom of it all? And why are you doing this?
I'm afraid I can't reveal all the details just yet, but I can promise you this. I will expose the Phantom Weasel's true identity.
So Lorenzo was the Phantom Weasel, and then Caesar was going to give it all back in the performance. I'm very stuck on that bit of it. I'm pretty sure that's why Caesar had all of the things.
Because you see, this is a personal matter of the utmost importance. I give you my word. Trust me.
Okay. How can I help you?
Rolled well on that persuasion check.
I've heard that Caesar used to have a magic workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects. If possible, I'd like to take a look at them. Do you know where it is?
The Fleuve Sonde.
Fleuve
But
Sonde.
the place was sealed up by the police after his death, and no one's been there since. I also know that the Fleuve Sonde is dangerous territory. Lots of hostile groups lurking around. If you're serious about going there, please be careful.
So, rating that pronunciation, that to my uneducated ears, that sounds pretty good.
Understood. Lynette, you stay here and take care of Gemma. Don't let her come to harm.
Got it. But if I'm staying here, I'm ordering dessert.
Fair.
I mean, bon appetit. But stay sharp, too. They're likely to come for you while I'm away.
The sewers?
Okay. All right. Power saving mode off. I'll start taking this more seriously now.
Gonna seriously have that dessert. Which is fair. Oh, Fleuve Sonde. We'll see if I can pronounce things. Not really well, but, you know. Attempts are made. Oh, that's down. Can I get there from here? I don't think I can. I can't just hop in the sewers. Dang. Okay, probably this one then. Okay. Boing. Okay.
If Gemma gave us the right location, then the workshop should be right nearby. Looks like these boxes are blocking the entrance. Let's shift them away first.
Suddenly, more guys pop out of the
There
sewers.
we go. It should be just down here.
Oh, domain. That's a really big hat. What kind of a performance is that for? It should just give me Lyney to use in this. So I shouldn't have to worry too much. Yeah. Cool. Oh! Wasn't expecting that. Alright. Immediately damp. Decorations? It's a well, I mean, no, that can improve your mood. And motivation to work on things, so fair enough. Oh, I was looking for something to hit.
This was Caesar's workshop. Nothing suspicious here, just normal magic props. Let's head in further.
I mean, also giant mechanisms. Did Caesar make all of this? Jeez.
What was that? Oh,
Nervalette!
is this one of Caesar's gadgets? Guess we must have triggered some sort of device.
I can't believe Nervalette is here. Okay. Interesting locking mechanism.
According to the judgment
Oh, I probably have to fight them. Okay. Boing! Okay.
Time to shine. Shower me with
Oh, let's do this.
Step right up.
Oh, you are dead.
Whoa. Look. The doll in the box is glowing.
Oh, but where are they going?
There's something written on the card on this doll.
Which doll?
Take a closer look.
Which doll? Is there a doll in here? No. I guess it's just past here. Oh. I'd like a little dove. I want a robot with cool powers. No, you need your parents' permission to own a pet, and you also need to take good care of it. I brought a fluffy toy dove for you this time. You're ready to own a pet? I'll make a real dove appear for you next time. Oh. A bucket of fried chicken that never runs out. The KFC event. Like a new bag. There's no such thing as fried chicken that never runs out, just as there's no such thing as children who never grow up. Also, eating too much fried food is bad for you. Make sure to pair it with something healthy, like a salad, alright? Get it? Because Caesar salad? Okay. I used to have KFC a lot as a kid. And then it got worse. Listen, I already spent a lot to get C0 for Reno. There's no way I was getting C2. I don't think there's anything up here.
Looks like we've reached the end of this route.
Oh, okay.
Shall we try a different one?
You can't silence the puns. They make me powerful. Oh,
These magic boxes are moving. What do we do?
shoot
One of
him.
them looks different from the rest. Let's investigate.
Shoot the glowy one, I guess. One of them is glowing, right? Right? No, one of them is not glowing. Not anymore, anyway. Did I hit it? Thought I did, but I think I might have hit the pillar. Did I just guess and hit the right one immediately? Oh. So I did. Okay, that one. On the box. Right here. Boop.
That's weird. Have we reached the end already? There's nothing here.
Ah, an escape room.
Maybe
Or
this was a wasted
anti-escape
trip.
room. Break-in room.
This place seems a little too ordinary for a magician's workshop. There's a distinct lack of mystery.
And therein lies the mystery.
We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether Caesar built this whole place as one big, elaborate magic contraption.
Oh yeah, no, escape rooms are really, really fun to do.
If so, then there must be more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe a hidden room somewhere. Aha! If I just move this book, then hopefully... And... presto!
A secret passageway! How did you know?
I'm a magician too, and apparently great minds really do think alike.
Wait, you had to actually pick a lock? Low-key, I really want to try to do that. Was it like a master lock? Because those things are really easy to pick. Not that I know. Don't worry about it.
Looks pretty
I'm
big
not good at it,
inside.
so.
Let's head in and take a look around.
Even the attendant couldn't do it? Oh no, that's not a good puzzle then. Like, at that point, you need to have one that's, like, really, really easy, because you can't have a skill bar in an escape room like that. Anything in here? I saw a chest. Wasn't there a chest in here? I thought there was a chest in the cutscene. I guess I was wrong. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Ah, I see, I see. Well. Boing.
Strike a pose.
Might as well. Okay.
Now disappear.
I forgot if I was supposed to be starting with the skill or not for Lyney. Because, like, the stacks, I forgot if they were used for the burst or if they were used for the skill. Whoops. That's fine, it's a domain. Oh no, the friends! Stacks are skill. Oh, oof. Whoops. Okay, I will remember to do that this time. Boing.
Let my name echo in song. Shower me.
Okay. Can I even get headshots on these guys? Wait.
And voila!
Everyone at half health, Farina's sweating nervously. No, it's fine. She deserves it.
Why have you stopped, Lyney? Is there some device in that box?
I would gladly give her half of my health.
Huh. It just looks familiar.
And also maybe a nice meal.
Let me check this out for a second while you guys go on ahead. If anyone makes a major discovery, let's rendezvous here.
All right, see you in a bit.
Oh, Lyney needs health. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a healer besides Farina. We don't talk about that. Fine. Oh, wait. Well, I separated. It's fine. It doesn't matter then. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Found device. Oh. I see. Okay, so I mean, these move, so I can literally just walk around in a circle. Except, let's see. No, it's not that simple. Hold on. Because I have to end at the other end. There's no other way to actually do that. So, go on that, move in through the center, and then... Phew. We'll see. Because I know I can take a path through the middle here, but the problem is... Yeah, that's not gonna necessarily be help. Oh, no, this works, this works, this works. Never mind. This is fine. Nice. Got it. Oh no, they went through their villain arc. If I jump, I've done puzzles in the game that require you to do touch it once. If you leave the ground at all, then it counts as failing it. I just assumed it would be the same here. Yeah.
Wow, there's a hidden room here.
It wasn't really hidden.
Let's see. Oh, this bookcase is full of Caesar's own notes. He wrote a lot about the principles of magic. Whew. Much too advanced for Paimon.
I'm gonna get stuck if I jump around.
Hey, look! Is that Caesar's diary on the table? This book's thick as a brick! Let's take a peek inside it, shall we?
Oh, about the wish
At one of
lists.
my shows a few days ago, a child asked me how I pulled candy out of my hat. As a joke, I told the kid that the hat has a built-in wish-granting machine. Next thing I know, today a whole bunch of kids were pestering me to pull all sorts of things out of the hat. So I told them another white lie. The machine needs time to power up, but in the meantime, you can write your wishes down. Well, they took me up on that offer, enthusiastically. As I write this, I've only just got back from running around all over town, buying the things they wanted. Boy, are my legs sore. I wound up saving very little this month, but that's not a major issue. I now have a bigger problem. How am I going to hide all these things inside my hat?
That's why he has the big hat. Of the children studying magic.
2 children came to talk to me after today's show. I don't know why they were out on their own. They looked much too young to be unsupervised. I do hope they got home safely. Anyway, they said that they wanted me to teach them how to do magic. It's not uncommon for children to ask this, of course, but I've never seen any of them as serious about it as these 2. I told them that learning magic is very hard work, but that didn't faze them at all. It's like they already knew. They seemed so committed. I couldn't turn them down.
Thank you for the follow. Lorenzo has issues. We've been known.
It seems like something's bothering Lorenzo lately, but he won't open up to me about it. Surely he's not upset that I agreed to teach those 2 children. I'll have to talk him around. I have a good feeling about those kids. They're naturally talented, and it seems like they're not new to the world of magic. They have all sorts of fantastic ideas. All I'm really doing is helping them develop a more professional standard training plan. They wanted to call me master, but I told them they absolutely mustn't. Any magician worth their salt could have taught them what I have. They're the geniuses here. Compared to them, I don't deserve to be called any sort of master. With time, I have no doubt that they could become far greater magicians than I. My only concern is why they're so mature for their
Was this
age.
Lyney and Lynette?
I fear they've had to grow up too fast. I don't dare to imagine what they must have been through.
I mean, I guess Lyney never said if he actually knew Caesar at all, but I thought that he didn't.
Gemma thinks so too. She doesn't like being around them. Says that their eyes are too piercing. They don't bother me, but then again, I've never been the sharpest tool in the shed.
Farewell.
It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I asked the 2 kids if they'd like to come with me, but they shook their heads. I once overheard them talking about their
Oh
father
shit,
and
it
their
is Lyney and Lynette.
Sounds like their parents have other plans for them. I guess we'll be parting ways soon. It's only been 10 days since I first met them, but I think that I've gotten a feel for their personalities now. They're very tough, but also very cautious, and they trust no one but each other. This, I fear, is not a good habit to have. They hide things from me too. For example, when I asked them where they live and why they wanted to learn magic, they lied. That's the thing about children. Whenever they're trying to cover something up, it always shows somehow. I can sense that their lives have been hard, possibly even dangerous too. They're not like other children. It's a shame that I can't do more to help them. After thinking things over, I decided to tell them a bit about how I see the world. It's full of lies and falsehoods, and that is why we must find our own truth. P.S. I hope they won't find my nagging annoying. Children are so opinionated nowadays. Will it do them more harm than good for someone they've only known 10 days to lecture them like that? P.P.S. Maybe I'm overthinking this.
Not the PPS.
Children aren't interested in grand philosophies. It probably just went in one ear and out the other. I bet they've already forgotten every word I said.
PPSS. Maybe I'm not overthinking this.
Oh, Caesar, Caesar.
Oh.
Just mind your own business next time.
So are we immediately going to be suspicious of him again?
2 magic geniuses with a father and a mission, huh? Sounds a lot like he was writing about Lyney and Lynette, don't you think? So did they meet Caesar when they were kids? Let's go ask Lyney.
Let's be real, Lynette would just like kind of perk like ear flick, but then not bother coming over. Oh, I thought I got stuck. It's fine, it's fine. Ah, you know, like
Lyney?
Shh, hold that thought. As I expected, there's a lot of fishy things going on in this place.
Fishy? Uh-oh, what have you found?
a full tuna.
All in good time.
Sushi.
Before we go over our new leads, I want to tell you how a high-altitude escape is performed. First, the magician slots themselves into a magic box in full view of the audience. The box is then suspended high in the air, and a short while later, the base automatically opens. At this point, a dummy will fall out of the box, but it looks real enough to grab the audience's attention, and they start wailing and screaming. Meanwhile, the real magician, who has by now blended into the crowd, waits for a good moment to make their appearance and put on a hysterical performance. Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall to my death?
Very vivid description. Paimon can really picture it. And then what?
The audience's gaze then turns to the magician, and by the time they realize what's happened, the dummy has vanished, as if everything that just happened was some sort of shared illusion. Of course, that's just how I think the process should work, theoretically speaking. The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box opened, Caesar was the one who fell out, and not the dummy. He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera house. No one could hope to survive that fall, not without a vision at least, and no one else has ever attempted this trick since. My understanding of how it works is just based on what I could gather from his notes and the relevant gadgets here in his workshop.
So Caesar's famous high-altitude escape has never been done, huh?
Well, thank you for the follow. Don't follow me out of the box.
I was about to say how cool it would have been to see it in person, but if it's that dangerous, it's probably for the best that no one else tries to do it.
I feel like someone probably sabotaged it.
Wait a second. So if a dummy's supposed to drop out of the box, then where does the real magician go? How does he get out?
Glad you asked. That brings us to the secret of said box. This box right here is the one that Caesar constructed himself to use in the performance, and it's not as simple as it looks. Inside, there's a device that only the magician himself would know about.
A rotating one?
Once the magician's inside and the box is lifted up into the air, the audience's view of the box is fixed at a certain angle. From where they're standing, they have a clear view of the front, sides, and bottom.
That makes
The back
sense.
and the top are now no longer visible.
So rotates it around, dummy goes into the front and then can fall through the hole. You can climb up from the back onto the rafters and then climb down somewhere else. Fair enough.
At this point, the magician presses a button inside the
Or
box,
a door, sure.
opening a secret door out of view. He then escapes through this trap door onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy to fall and distract the audience, and quietly returns to ground level.
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined. Even Paimon could probably do it.
You could just fall and be fine. You fly.
Well, there's a little more to it than that, of course. The hardest part of this trick is controlling the audience's mood and reactions. That takes an exceptional degree of showmanship. There's the falling dummy, the miraculous reappearance, the pompous performing. Maybe the magician would even have themselves tied up before it begins to strengthen the impression that there's no escape. Many days and nights of careful research and painstaking practice would have gone into this, all culminating in a performance just a few minutes long, but one that still manages to transform the shock and grief of a tragic accident to the joy and laughter of a mesmerizing magic trick. Caesar was a highly accomplished magician. But unfortunately, even he didn't manage to pull it off.
So, how did it go so wrong? You said you found some fishy stuff here. Have you figured out what really happened?
I can make a pretty good guess. I looked into the case files. The magic box Caesar was using at the time of his death had the secret button I mentioned positioned on the right-hand side. And sure enough, he always used his right hand as his dominant hand in public.
But
Okay. Nothing suspicious there.
in public, does that mean that he wasn't actually right-handed?
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here. which leads me to believe that Caesar was in fact left-handed.
But why would he pretend this?
Because a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much. People naturally focus their attention on the most important details of the task or situation at hand. But a magician needs to be able to redirect an audience's attention at will so as to avoid arousing their suspicion.
That's also true. If you're doing the sleight of hand stuff with your dominant hand rather than your non-dominant hand, yeah, that would work. Also, Yoimiya's quest was very cute.
The essence of magic is getting
Yoimiya's
people
the
to
best.
believe a lie. If even the truth raises eyebrows, the falsehoods become all the more difficult to mask. And so, Caesar trained himself to use his right hand to align with his audience's expectations. Great magic always requires sacrifices. But in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moments, and when no one was watching, reflex would kick in and he'd use his left hand. That's why he set his gadgets with the mechanism on his left. Exactly. I think that's likely what happened. Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape. He'd have had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, retrieve the dummy, then open the secret door and make a swift escape. But I'm sure he was confident. He would have rehearsed countless times to the point where it was second nature. He'd barely need to think about what he was doing because muscle memory would guide him through.
Mm-hmm.
So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. With his left hand, he reached for the button, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. It wasn't there. Much like when you reach for your keys but find your pocket empty, his mind needed a moment to process what was going on. Instinctively, his left hand would keep feeling around for the missing button, maybe for another second or two, until the bottom of the box gave way. With the stakes being as high as they were, just a 2-second delay cost him everything. The authorities would find nothing suspicious and conclude that his death was due to his own error.
When in reality, someone switched the boxes, and they did it to murder him. But how would they be able to make the switch without being noticed? That would be difficult to pull off, no?
Not unless you were already a part of the act. If you were someone that he trusted.
It would have to have been someone who knew that he was left-handed and who could move his props around without arousing suspicion. Someone who was always by his side. Isn't that right, Lorenzo?
Dun dun dun!
You just couldn't let sleeping dogs lie, could you?
Well, it's because you're a terrible liar.
There's not a lot of people who'd go to all this trouble for some magician who died 10 years ago. I didn't want to have to do this, you know. Silencing you the hard way just creates more problems for me to deal with. But I gave you your chance. I hoped you'd do what's good for you and back off like the lady, but you disappoint me.
You mean Gemma? So you are the one who's been threatening her.
Wait, did we not know that already? Oh, I guess we didn't.
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much of a liability. But you people, you never even knew him, but for some reason you just wouldn't drop it. Which is why you can't leave this place alive. Take them out.
Oh, you think that they can hang? Oh, okay.
Do your worst.
You really think that they can kill us? Really?
Here, please.
The dog does have a better chance, I won't lie. But like, everyone else— oh, actually I should probably do this one. Oops, I've made a mistake.
Into the wind.
What the dog doing? You know. Ah, they're trying to hit me. Let me put up a shield again. Oh, that's—
Right up.
I meant to press R. Dang it. Okay. There we go. Boing. Well, I love how they leave like the treasure hoarders. Okay.
And voila! Let's get this show on the road.
Oh, I love that cat burst. It's so good.
The show begins.
You know what? Judgment. Oh?
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal.
You kids are tougher than you look.
Did we just kick his shins? I hope we did. The real Cat in the Hat was the Lyney that we met along the way.
Had enough yet, Lorenzo? Your cronies can't help you now. I think it's high time you started talking, and what I'd really like to know is, why did you murder Caesar?
Because he took in... He took in 2 ratty kids instead of focusing on his actual apprentice, me.
If I had a Mora for every time you said that man's name. Of course you idolized Caesar, everyone else did. But I was the real genius magician. Me, he was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible children. I was the one who made magic into the fine art it is today. The aristocrats doffed their hats to me.
I mean, aristocrats are basically just rich, large kids. Mm.
So it was jealousy.
Yeah.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like. I hated Caesar. All he cared about was his magic. He lived and breathed it. He poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just a hobby to him, never bothering to think about Mora. What sort of fool devotes their life to the art of deception and never has a Mora to show for it? But the people loved him, didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him. No one gave me a second look. All I ever heard was, "Oh, your master's amazing, isn't he?" Amazing. Yeah, so amazing that he was completely broke. Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skills, and it brought me nothing more than the life I already had.
Yeah, why didn't you just leave?
He forbade me from using magic to trick people out of their Mora. There was nothing he hated more than that. And with his reputation in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own brand of money-making magic, he would expose me and it would destroy me.
Money-making magic? Does that mean, like, stealing people's wallets? Or, like, just putting on performances for the aristocrats? Because one of those is an illegal act. And I don't think it really has to do with, Caesar.
I had to kill him. There was no other
I mean,
way.
in the end, I guess he just did a
He
crime.
had to go.
Really? You could have gone to a different nation. It's not like they had magic acts in, like, other nations. You probably would have been able to earn a pretty penny.
And this was your only motive?
No, probably not.
It was reason enough. What other motive would I need?
It's the meddling kids,
Well, I
obviously.
was under the impression that there might have been other factors at play. For instance, maybe you were in love with Gemma, but she was engaged to Caesar.
In love with Gemma? Don't be ridiculous.
Ah, so you were also... Okay.
Guess I was wrong about that then. Next question. Are you the Phantom Weasel?
I am.
Hmm.
Caesar was so strict with me. He insisted that his way was the right way, that the sole purpose of magic was to bring joy to the world. I never bought into any of that. I was more interested in the practical value of magic. Sure enough, it helped me fill my pockets with all kinds of valuable treasures.
Yeah, and you also stole the kids like teddy bear. What's up with that?
Yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal whatever people valued, no matter how much he was worth.
That's just how it looked from the outside. What would any thief want with second-rate loot? I've only ever targeted high-value items. I stole cheap things as a way of practicing my craft.
Oh, wow, you're
It was
just a
other
dick.
people's overactive imaginations that conjured up the preposterous image they then dubbed the Phantom Weasel.
You know what? Yeah, no, you deserve the moniker of the Phantom Weasel.
So that's the story, huh?
What a weaselly guy.
I hope you're ready to tell it all over again during your trial.
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws. You've seen what's here, and my last-ditch effort to stop it getting out has failed. So be it.
Oh, I didn't mean to click
I've
that.
enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years, the likes of which Caesar could never give me. I wouldn't choose for things to end this way, but I regret nothing.
I really want him to get his comeuppance somehow.
Very well. In that case, I'll contact the guards. Traveler, Paimon, keep an eye on Lorenzo for me. I'll meet you just outside the workshop when I'm back.
Cool. Dang it.
At least I can finally stop looking over my shoulder now.
I don't want to give this man any kind of relief. You deserve to squirm a little bit like the weasel you are. Just a little dip in the primordial sea. Just a little swim. But I feel like he wants to live. I want him to live with that. To live with the,
Lyney has told me the whole story.
I guess, live with the consequences of his actions rather than dying with no regrets after the life that he's lived in luxury.
Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of Caesar and to framing him for the Phantom Weasel's crimes?
Look who's finally developed a conscience.
He hasn't.
What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it, because there'll be hell to pay.
Give him to the Melazines.
Looks like it's all over. What should we do next, Lyney? Should we start preparing for your show?
I still think there's a little bit of a... One last thing that we need to tie up. One last loose end. It's about you knowing Caesar.
Let me think.
He was probably jealous, too.
Let's
Of that.
rendezvous with Lynette and Gemma first. With Lorenzo in custody, Gemma will no longer have to fear for her safety.
Good point. We should go tell Gemma the good news right away. It'll give her some peace of mind for sure.
Give him to the Aranara. That might be a fate so much worse than death. Let's do it. This is not in the sewers anymore. The cafe's not in the sewers. That'd be ridiculous. Boucher was the only one who kind of had a comeuppance because, like, what was it? The person that he was trying to bring back disapproved of him, so everything was for naught, sort of a thing.
Ah, you're back. You were so quick. I've only just finished my third dessert.
Your third? Lynette, come on, we've talked about this. Everything in moderation. You're not gonna have any room left for dinner now.
The dessert was the dinner, Lyney.
It's fine. I'll shift to exercise mode and jog off the excess sugar.
The forest never forgives. The forest never forgets.
That's besides the point. Well, it's done now, but try to eat a more balanced diet in the future.
Maybe I should get dessert. Anyway.
Point taken.
Did everything go okay?
Yep.
Of course. Lorenzo was no match for us. The guards are taking him into custody as we speak.
He just got eaten by a Rishbalan tiger. That's fair.
Gosh, that's amazing. I'm sorry. I still didn't know if I could trust you, but now it seems I can.
You don't seem surprised to know that it was Lorenzo.
I had my suspicions about Lorenzo, but I...
It's okay. We understand. He did threaten you. Paimon would find it hard to trust strangers in your position, too. But you don't need to be scared anymore. Everything's gonna be okay.
Sorry. Sorry. My emotions are all over the place right now. I've been waiting for this day to come for so long. I always wanted to report Lorenzo. He took all of Caesar's property, which I found suspicious, but I had people watching me all the time, so I couldn't risk looking into it. I was so afraid. I was scared he'd do something terrible to me, and then no one would be left to visit Caesar's grave. So I never had the courage to speak out.
I don't think that their hair color's the same. Lyney and Lynette's is definitely more like blondish brown than it is gray.
Thank you all. Truly. Thank you so much.
Oh, we're going to the cemetery. Did we bring
Thank
all of
you
Fontaine?
for
Oh, no.
clearing Caesar's name. I never would have guessed that Lorenzo was the real Phantom Weasel. He never showed any signs that there were problems between him and Caesar in public. From the outside, it looked like they got along great.
I thought he was suspicious when he stole all of our earthly belongings, but I mean, Lyney and Lynette are like canonically orphans.
Judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal.
To think that lowlife's been living life to the fullest all this time while Caesar's name was getting dragged through the mud. It's a travesty. At least his soul can finally rest in peace now, thanks to your efforts.
Oh.
If only I'd realized before it was too late.
Don't blame yourself, Gemma. This isn't your fault.
Yeah, you still have the rest of your life to live. Caesar wouldn't want to see you spending it feeling guilty.
Cheer up, Gemma. My brother's doing a magic show at the Opera House tomorrow evening. Would you like to come along? It might raise your spirits. This show will be a special one. We're holding it in Caesar's honor.
In Caesar's honor? Really? Oh, thank you. I'll be there.
If Lyney does the trick that was discussed, I feel like that's like a little traumatizing. I mean, if he pulls it off, it'd probably be cathartic. I don't know.
Great. We'll see you tomorrow evening. Traveler, Paimon, don't be late.
Don't worry, we'll be there. No way are we gonna miss out on a free magic show. Wait, Paimon feels like we're forgetting something.
The journal.
Oh yes!
Diary.
Caesar's diary! We never found out if the two kids Caesar taught magic to were Lyney and Lynette or not. Lyney changed the topic back in the workshop, so we didn't get a chance to bring it up. Oh well. Guess we'll just have to ask Lyney tomorrow evening.
Okay. Oh, I have to wait for a full rotation. All right. Hey, Mr. Neverlet, Howard Baby Dragon's page. Where do baby dragons come from? They come from the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. The what? When a giant rock and a tidal wave love each other very, very much, they cause a catastrophe. And in that catastrophe is an egg. And out of that egg hatches the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. Oh, hi, Charlotte.
Here I am, as we agreed. I wonder what kind of show Lyney has prepared for us this time. Oh, the anticipation. It's killing me. Oh, and how could I forget? Thank you both for capturing Lorenzo. Now that this decade-long case of the Phantom Weasel has finally been put to rest, I'm going to go through my notes and put it all together into the most spectacular special column piece to ever grace the pages of the Steambird.
Oh yeah, no, the text-to-speech pronunciation of Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal was very, very funny. Oh gosh, where did all these people come from?
Paimon's excited to see another of Lyney's magic shows! Wait. Lynette, shouldn't you be on stage by now?
Not this time. My brother's going solo today, so I'll be watching with you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's ready because the show is about to begin.
Maybe he was already cleansed out of Irminsul and no one knows.
The great magician Lyney has prepared a spectacular show for us all tonight.
Houdin.
Concluding with
Houdin.
an all-new grand finale that no audience has ever seen before.
Is it gonna be the thing? I think it's gonna be the thing.
Now, prepare to join me on a journey through the mystical and miraculous.
It's about to give this crowd trauma.
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's just. It reminds me of him.
No wonder. Caesar was a famous magician too. So, how did you two first meet, Gemma?
Now, don't talk during a performance.
Well, I was out on the street once and I saw him performing for little children. Children love magic because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally explained. Caesar had this amazing way of bringing them into a dreamlike world.
You know what? I'm gonna pretend they're in an intermission right now. Let's just say there's an intermission and people are just kind of like, waiting for the 5 minutes for the next part of the act. Magic shows can have intermissions, right?
And somehow, I felt drawn to him too. So I went up and asked him to do a trick for me.
Aw, that sounds so romantic. What trick did he do?
I feel like if she was their parents, like, Caesar would have mentioned something in his diary about these kids reminding him of kids that he lost. I don't know. I think it's really unlikely that she's actually their parents.
It was with a flower. He took it in his hand, snapped his fingers, and it magically appeared on my head.
Aww.
I was so happy that day. No one had ever given me a flower before that.
I just hate it when people start talking about the tragic backstories in the theater. No. It's just part of the drama, obviously, and the Fontanians live for drama. Also, hello.
Oh, that's so cute. Actually, now that you mention it, Lyney's done that one before.
Is that right?
Probably learned from him.
Then I suppose he's a romantic at heart, just like Caesar. So let's treasure the time we have with him. After all, you never know when the people dearest to you might be gone.
I mean, don't be sad, but that's so easy to say. The killer's been caught.
That's right. It's all over now.
Yeah.
Paimon doesn't really know how to comfort you, but at the very least, no one's gonna be intimidating you from now on. You can breathe easy at last, right?
Why couldn't Paimon have been written like this for the Furina quest?
Right. Yes. you
See,
can
Lynette
breathe
agrees
easy
with me.
now, Phantom Weasel.
Oh, wait! My first theory was right! Ha!
See? Even Lynette says
My first crack theory from like an hour ago! Let's go!
the Phantom Weasel escaped. Where is he?
Oh, the third theory where she was the one who stole the stuff and the Caesar was gonna return it? Oh my gosh, I was right! Yes! My red string wasn't for nothing. I knew it! He
what
was
do you
too
mean,
easy!
Phantom
He was
Weasel?
too easy as a target!
As Lyney once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on a flawless performance for their audience. But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end the show. The spotlight is no place for someone with no more cards up their sleeve.
Paimon used empathy and then was betrayed in this instance and decided to never use empathy ever again.
It's been
Clearly.
10 years, Gemma. Aren't you tired of the grieving widow act? I think it's time to put an end to it.
What are you talking about? Paimon doesn't like this riddle. Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going. Come on, say something.
I was right! Paimon's like, that's not what I wanted you to say!
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all enjoying the performance so far. There will now be a brief intermission.
Oh,
after
this is
which
the
Lyney
intermission.
will perform
Okay.
The most electrifying act of tonight's show, the one we've all been waiting for. The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so please make your way outside in a calm and orderly fashion.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places, did they? Don't worry, this place will be quiet soon. Let's talk somewhere else for now.
And Lorenzo was in love with Gemma and was covering for her. Okay. Those are the last couple of pieces. Anyone want to say anything?
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to liven up the mood. This is a big mistake for a magician to make, but thankfully, I do have a backup plan. Now, who wants to hear a story?
Lyney, don't we have more important things to address right now?
I think it's relevant.
Lynette accused Gemma of being the real Phantom Weasel a moment ago. Oh, what the heck's going on?
The truth.
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask. And as it happens, the story I'm about to tell might answer a few of them.
I feel like Yurara is way too friendly of like a cat to hiss. I feel like that would only happen if you tried to like steal her packages from her.
Really?
I don't know.
Well then, let's hear it. Paimon's dying of curiosity here.
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine, she never missed a target, never left a trace, and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands. But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became ever fewer. Every day, she ran the risk of being exposed for who she was.
Well, of course she was. She didn't even change her hair.
Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long, she found her ticket to freedom. She would create a scapegoat, a false weasel to close the chapter on her behalf. After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Caesar. After all, magic and theft shared enough similarities for people to buy the story when the truth came out.
Okay, I feel like Lyney's gonna hit most of the points, but is gonna miss that Gemma actually was in love with Caesar. Like, actually fell in love with him and didn't want that to happen, but he found out about it and wanted to make sure that she wasn't outed as the Phantom Weasel. That's what my new guess is before we move on.
So then what?
Being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now, all that remained was to frame him for her countless crimes. But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe I don't need to get my hands dirty after all. At her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box, causing him to fall to his death. Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. Two co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
I've got to hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. It's enough to make even me wonder whether there was really another mastermind behind all this, pulling the strings. But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Lyney? Is it something that Lorenzo said?
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing at all. But I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that. He was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was trying to hide.
How disappointing. So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me, even without a shred of evidence?
I mean, I feel like I called it from the beginning. I had no evidence, though. That's true.
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Gemma, are equally talented in this regard. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable, even under threats of violence.
I think that she actually did fall in love with him. There's no reason for her to keep going to the grave for a decade. Because, like, she could have stopped after, like, 5 years, maybe even less, and people wouldn't bat an eye at it. I think that she genuinely did actually fall in love with him. And it's more of a tragedy than anything.
Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight.
And that's why she was digging into it. Like, she genuinely did get attacked by Lorenzo's goons, I think, because she wanted to reveal herself, and he didn't want that to happen. That's what I'm thinking. This is my new crack theory.
Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave?
Because, like, there would be no reason to start doing this now.
Demise? No, not that poor lady. Oh, perish the thought.
Lyney, why would she have literally done another warning letter instead of just keeping her head low if she was gonna do that, right?
Wait, so you mean the whole intimidation thing was just a hoax? Gemma and Lorenzo were both in on it? But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out even
He loves her.
instead of admitting to being the weasel himself?
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Lyney, if you're so confident in your version of events, then I think the answer should be obvious. Having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt.
She's projecting.
Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the Weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved ones.
An excellent answer, though sadly a little dull.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If you'd care to change the topic to something more interesting, I'd be much obliged.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real Weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people? Could you shed any light on that?
Of course. After all, we're just telling stories here, aren't we? If I had to guess, I would say that the real Weasel must have had a terrible childhood. Left to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed, scorned, beaten. She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to draw on, using twigs and dirt for lack of ink and pen. She'd sew ugly rag dolls from whatever scrap material she could get her hands on. This was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she needed, and she was content. Until the world decided that even this was too good for her. Once again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her. She felt like life was a miry pit that dragged her further down the more she struggled to escape. At that tender age, she should have been happy. Instead, she stood in the shadows and watched with envy as all good things in the world passed her by. This was a fate too cruel for anyone to bear. Her pain became a breeding ground for dark thoughts, thoughts which festered and grew into a twisted solution to her troubles. I detest the happiness of others, in all its forms alike. I will rob them of everything they hold to be good and true, and it will fill the void in my soul.
That's some pretty heavy stuff.
Now it all makes sense.
Does this story satisfy you, Lyney?
It's not the full story.
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear up my confusion.
Okay, Traveler, good. Picking up on things. Why the warning letter?
Huh. That's right. What drove you to write that letter, Gemma? What were you trying to achieve there? Because without that, none of this would have ever come to light.
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems like someone still wasn't ready to let her finally be at peace. Lyney. Or should I call
Oh.
you the Phantom Copycat now? You were the one who posted that letter outside the Opera House. But why?
Never mind. No redemption for Gemma. If it was Lyney, then yeah, no, he was doing that because Caesar was a good guy and they trained under him. Okay,
Very sharp,
fair enough.
Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever. Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
10 years ago? You mean Caesar's death? You met him? Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids. It's been so long, and you're all grown up now. I didn't recognize you. He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you still owe him something?
We remember all our debts, however great or small. 10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the truth is anymore. But we did not forget, and so we came to find you.
And? What exactly did you take from me? I'm still standing, as you can see. Lorenzo has admitted to everything. I'm free.
Free? Do you really think so? Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and falsehoods, we must find our own truth. I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the dead of night, stealing became your way of numbing the pain.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the hole? Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain from all that? He knew who you were and the things you'd done, and despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years. You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has. So I think you know, deep down, that he is the only truth you have in your life.
Nothing like the bonding experience of murder.
But that truth is gone now. And I guarantee you, you'll never see it again.
Congratulations on your freedom, Gemma.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it. You've still got a long life ahead of you after all.
I don't know if it's the family that slays together stays together. They're being separated right now.
Gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing Lyney to perform his final act in tonight's show. I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand finale. Well, wonder no more, for the answer is a death-defying high-altitude escape.
A high-altitude escape?
Yep.
I'm sure you all remember the magician Caesar. This was the very trick that led to his fatal fall, after which he was dubbed the Phantom Weasel. But we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crime.
Guess that's my cue to leave. Whew. I've been practicing this one for ages now, but I'm still a little nervous.
The weasel went pop. That's true.
Paimon, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. There may be a lot of people watching tonight, but you alone are my true witnesses.
Lyney, wait. You two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? Are you an open book? Or are you still the same as ever? You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone. One day, you'll end up exactly where I am today. Maybe then you'll finally understand.
I think that's unlikely. He has family and friends.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
Yeah, they're very different. I don't know why they're trying to hint at a parallel here.
So, what are we, doing now?
Like Lyney said, when you're ready, let's head outside and watch the show.
Because, like, Lyney does crimes out of loyalty. It's not because of greed. Or a desire to spread unhappiness and anything like that. They're not the same at all.
But what about Gemma?
What about Gemma?
She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh, and if you'd like to see Lyney after the show, you know where he'll be. The usual haunt.
All right. Well, let's go and watch Lenny's finale then. This trick's a pretty dangerous one, but he should be able to pull it off, right?
If he does fall out of there, though, we could save him, probably. I mean, they were both orphans, that's true, but, like, it's not like he was alone from the beginning. Like, he had siblings. Together. They were together. Everyone in Fontaine was an orphan. Basically. But yeah, no, like, and they got picked up by somebody. Yes, it involved murder and crime, but, like, you know, they're loyal to someone. And they have attachments and you know, family and friends and stuff, which is something that Gemma didn't have.
What is my truth?
Oh, we gave her an
Sometimes
existential
I think
crisis.
I'm like a gambling addict. All I care about is winning, and it doesn't matter what's at stake. By the time I come to my senses, I'm left with nothing. Oh, if I had my time again.
Magicians are not like thieves. Thieves only tear things apart. But good-hearted magicians, they put things back together.
She girl boss too close to the sun. Yeah, I was hoping for a Gemma redemption, but alas. Oh, cutscene. Lynette got up there fast.
Magic should be mysterious, surprising, and defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single
Little
movement has to be
Lyney.
practiced thousands of times.
It's alright.
Little Lynette.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. I only hope that one day you can find your own truth.
What about you? Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be?
Look! Behold! Lyney is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
god, it's the 5-star! We pulled him!
Surprising. And logic defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
Did you see that? 1 minute he was falling, and the next, he turned into flowers.
How could he possibly have done that?
How mysterious. I didn't blink once. He just vanished right in front of my eyes. What a heart-stopping magic show. This was really worth the trip. Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Lyney has fulfilled a wish on his behalf. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better grand finale. It will make a great headline for the Steambird tomorrow, even if I do say so myself.
Looks like everyone really loved Lyney's grand finale.
I mean, I don't need to know the full story.
Paimon doesn't see Lyney anywhere. Where'd he go?
The Gardermix will clean it up, it's fine.
Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual hunt. But, where is that?
Well, cemetery's haunted, I guess.
Oh, you mean the one where Caesar's buried? Yeah, that's probably it. This whole magic show kinda seemed like Lyney's way of saying goodbye to Caesar. So it makes sense that that's where he'd be afterward. Alright, let's go look for him there.
And then we were wrong, and we never saw Lyney ever again. All the water in Fontaine is haunted? Yeah, that's true. Oh, there he is.
Lyney! There you are. Are you alright? Paimon was scared to death when the chain broke. Paimon was sure something had gone horribly wrong.
Magic is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh. I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder what Caesar thought in those final moments. Did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on? Or did he believe that it was his own slip-up right until the end?
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Caesar once, didn't you? When was that?
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him. I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done. But I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw was the polished final performance, but the rigorous training they put in behind the scenes remained invisible to me. I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make niftier props. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves, but without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
So that's why you sought Caesar out?
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us. In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, we hid so many things from him.
Oh, they felt guilty for the past 10 years, huh?
For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, "It's my passion." But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth. trust is a beautiful thing. Sadly, I'd forgotten how to trust by then.
Lyney.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that.
Still worried about the way I feel? You really are a gentle soul, aren't you?
In this current moment, yes.
But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the house of the hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that he'd fallen to his death and was now declared to be the Phantom Weasel. That night, I remembered his smile. But as I lay there, I didn't know what to say to him. To keep secrets is to put up walls. The longer you keep them up, the less you let people in. Then, one day, you look around and realize your life is like an empty auditorium after a show, full of seats once occupied by all the people who left. But I guess that's the price we have to pay. You only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely. That's why I was so confident this would hurt Gemma. Because I felt it for myself.
Why does this first answer sound so, I don't know, empty? Don't be sad. It's like what we said earlier. Anyway, we're in your auditorium and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, cheer up, Lyney. We've had to say our fair share of goodbyes during our journey, too. But whatever happens, Paimon always believes in what tomorrow brings. Delicious food, fun toys, and the traveler by my side. Paimon just needs to focus on things like this and all the unhappy stuff goes right out the window. You know, Traveler, doesn't that kind of make you Paimon's truth?
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynette. We are the truest thing each other has in the world, and nothing can replace that. Life has taken plenty from us, like it did from Gemma. But at least it left us with each other. That's what gave us the strength to get through the darkest days. That's why the darkness never consumed me and why it never will. Maybe we live in the shadows too, but we remember every precious ray of light that shines through. All right, time to lighten this conversation up a little. What did you think of the show tonight? Were you happy with it?
It was amazing! Paimon just wishes we hadn't been so distracted with the Gemma situation. We spent most of our time in the opera house just talking and pretty much missed the entire first half of the show. Lyney, could you do just one more trick for us?
Flower trick?
Whoa,
Flower trick?
That's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decidedly card-free right now.
Aw, come on! Surely you can think of something. The Lyney Paimon knows can do anything if he puts his mind to it.
Oh, all right then. I'll give it a go, but only because it's you. Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your hand. We ain't going along with this.
It's gonna show up on one of you guys.
My goodness, you're right. But I could have sworn I brought one here with me. Okay, try this. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Now, have another look around. Maybe the flowers appear
Same place, huh?
somewhere else.
Really? Let's see.
Gasp!
Wow, there it is! Oh, this is a different flower from the last time, right? This one's called, oh yeah, a rainbow rose. But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done. Please, Lyney, pretty please!
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing me as teacher.
Fine. Please, teacher, please!
Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secrets. You have to observe, think, and find the answers for yourself.
Is that it?
Look at the time. We should
According
linger
to the
here too.
judgment of the Oratrice
Thanks
Mechanik
again for coming to
Danamis
see my
Corina.
show. I bid you both good night.
That's a funky way of leaving.
I look forward to seeing you again.
All right, fine. See ya. Shall we head back now, too? Paimon can't wait to read the Steambird tomorrow. Paimon bets Lyney and Caesar will be plastered all over it. Let's head to the Steambird's offices tomorrow morning and see what we can find out.
Oh, last part of the quest. Delightful encounter. Aw. Oh, I have to wait again till morning. Also, is the lurk command supposed to do something? Where go? Where go? Here go. Oh, wait, it's up here, it's up here. Hello!
I'm very sorry, Charlotte, but my sister and I are quite busy today. I'm afraid we'll have to decline this interview.
Oh, please, Lyney, I'll only take a moment of your time, if you would be so kind.
Huh? What's happening here?
I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, and it was going to go to print this morning. But just as dawn broke, I suddenly received news that Caesar's fiancée, Gemma, had contacted the guards and confessed to having been the real Phantom Weasel all along.
That was quick.
I mean, wow! That's crazy! That happened so fast after the Phantom Weasel was caught.
Too late, bro. That was quick, you say? It sounds like I've got some catching up to do. Please, fill me in.
Whoops.
Good job, Paimon.
Aha! My instincts did not
God.
lead me astray.
Yeah, sure, affirm it even more, Paimon.
Gemma turning herself in must have something to do with Lyney's performance last night.
She saw the final trick, and felt so guilty that she had to turn herself in.
Maybe watching my high-elevation escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Okay, cool.
Huh. Okay, then.
Same brain cell.
No, there must be more to it. If that's all it took for her to have a change of heart, how did it take her 10 whole years?
Because no one had done that trick in 10 whole years. And after seeing it, she finally had that change of heart where it was the final straw.
Well...
Dang it, Lyney. So close. Gonna have to distract her.
I remember now. You and Gemma were nowhere to be found after the show. What happened between you?
No, we're your alibi.
Question. Where did you all go after the show?
Oh, we went to the cemetery and Lyney did a private magic trick just for us. Actually, glad you mentioned it, because that reminds Paimon, guess what? Lyney started using rainbow roses in his tricks.
Paimon, you're very bad at this.
What?
What?
I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself. Is this supposed to be something more important to you than your own sister?
No, I just...
It's all you had on you after doing all of your tricks that night. Dang it, Paimon.
What now? Oh, did Paimon say something wrong again? This is getting pretty awkward. What do we do, Traveler?
The tail is whipping. You know she's mad.
Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Well, never mind. There's always next time. Forgive my persistence, but when there's explosive news waiting to be found, I can't turn away. The news about Gemma has already made waves, and I'll stop at nothing to get to the bottom of it all.
Good thing there's nothing left to dig up here. Not at all.
Apparently, one of the things she said to the guards was that her final wish is to see Lorenzo one last
Oh
time.
my gosh.
There's clearly a web of complicated relationships there. Can't blame me for being curious. All right, I guess I'll leave you to continue the rest of your conversation in peace. Bye for now.
Exactly. He used up all of the other flour, clearly, for the trick. All he had left were the rainbow roses, obviously.
Lynette? Paimon didn't mean to...
Oh, don't worry, Lynette won't be mad at you, Paimon. She's gonna just take it out on her brother.
Don't worry, I wasn't angry.
Oh.
I was just trying to distract her.
Oh, really? Oh, thank goodness. You scared Paimon there.
Phew. You and me both, Paimon. You and me both. At least it did the job, right?
Please, take good care of that rainbow rose. I'd be really upset if you lost it.
Nice. Oh, they're gone then. Can't talk to them. All right. Well, that was fun. Yeah, I can definitely see the whiplash if you did this right after Act 1. So, next time is gonna be Nervalette. Oh, thank you for the follow. Well, actually, no, next time is gonna be the special program. And then it's gonna be Nervalette. Oh, actually, there's a couple of people going. Let's see. I think I'll send you guys over to Molly. She's trying to get herself the partner, so, you know, supporting and all that. I know it's just hours at this point, but you know. I hadn't done Nervalette. The judge and the man with the bakery? Oh, he has a ship. I guess he could put a bakery on the ship. Also, I know what you mean. Oh, last part of Inazuma. Ooh, that means you're gonna be starting Samara soon. That's a good time. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Whew, and I've been a little tired, so thank you for putting up with me being tired. But I was right with my theory! So you know what, maybe I'm not that tired. Maybe I'm just a detective. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna be back on Friday for the special program, I guess. Hug as a command? Maybe. We'll see if I remember anyway. With my brain still obviously working overtime and being exhausted, but I will try to remember that one. Alrighty, yeah. A little tired, so I think it showed, unfortunately. But it's fine, I used all of my remaining brain cell on my crack theories. I am streaming on Friday, and I'll probably be doing the special program, and then on Monday I'll go back to doing Nervalette. I am out of time, but yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I will see you on Friday, probably. Take care. Bye-bye.